I hope this finds you all healthy and happy. And today I have been watching a few of the girls do this brand new, well, it's probably not brand new, this stringy painty paper technique. And it looked so fun that I just had to try it myself. So here I am. And I wanted to let you know I watched Dee over at Bettsy Doodle. I watched Patricia Stubbs, and I watched Stacy at Pink Poodle Crafts. And they all also said that Marta at Maremi Small Art also was doing this, and I have not watched her video yet, but I'm going to do that. And what you do is you just take, you need to have 2 sheets of paper. I have a piece of watercolor paper here because I decided to really water down some of my acrylic paints to do this with. Some of the girls used acrylic paint, some of the girls used ink, and so I decided I would try it with my acrylic paints. And then you just take a string and put it down in your paint and get it down in there good, and you leave a tail so that you can, you know, get a hold of it. And just take something. What happened to my little stir stick? I have no idea. Oh, here it is. And you just take something and get it down in there so that your string really gets soaked in your medium, whatever you're going to use. Somebody mentioned you could use like liquid acrylics. Somebody mentioned Dee, I think, was using like a liquid ink that she gets over in the UK where she lives. I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure that Stacy just used ink for all of hers. And I'm not sure what Marta at Maremi Small Art, oh, Patricia Stubbs used acrylic paint, I believe, yes. And I'm not sure what Marta used at Maremi because I did not watch hers as yet, but I intend to do that. But I just thought this was so cool looking and so fun, and I thought I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm putting my strings down in here, and I don't know if you really need them to sit in there and soak for any length of time. I don't really think so, as long as they have collected, or as long as they're, you know, have enough of the whatever you're using, ink or acrylic paint or whatever, as long as they've soaked up enough of that to be good on your paper. Like I said, I pulled out a piece of watercolor paper because my my acrylic paint is really watered down and very liquidy, and I hope it ends up having enough pigment to do this with, like this. But so anyway, live and learn, so we shall see. But anyway, you put your strings down in here. And I don't have those cool little cups that that the girls were using, so I have, all I had was able to do was to take the bottoms of some water bottles, and so I cut the bottoms out of some water bottles, and I'm using that for my my little pot here to put my strings in. And this particular one here on the end with the green, it has a funny inside on the bottom of the water bottle, so it's kind of weird. So I hope I can get enough color on my string to do it with. I might sit it up on something to keep it, it's not high enough to keep the liquid down here in this little puddle. Okay. Well, so then I guess what you do is you pull your string up out of your medium, and you can either go ahead and, I hope you can see what I'm doing, you can go ahead and take some of the excess off and let it drip back into your pot. Then you just kind of lay your string down, and Stacy was saying that you can put it in any kind of pattern that you like, and then let your tail hang out down on the bottom, or whichever way you're going to pull the strings. Let your tail hang out down there. So that sounds kind of strange. Let your tail hang out. Okay, well, whatever. Let the end of your string hang out down there on the bottom. You guys don't know how crazy I am, I don't think, quite yet. All right, let's see. I'm going to kind of go with, I don't know how this is going to look, but I'm going to kind of go with all the colors and see what I get. I have no idea what I'm going to get, so we'll see. And I know Stacy at Pink Poodle is so creative, so she was doing a whole bunch of different things. You know, hers, she was taking it to new heights and lengths. You know, she was doing a bunch of different putting the strings together, and you know, doing all sorts of things. And then you just take another piece of paper and you lay it on top of your strings. And Stacy, I think, said she let hers sit for a second. She was using ink, so she was transferring, you know, the ink to her pages. So I'm not really going to let mine sit very long. And then so you just take your strings at the end like this, hold it down, and you just pull it out like so. I'm going to lay that down here, and I'm going to go on to the next one. And there's that one. And the top of this paper is just some heavier, a little bit heavier weight. It's not cardstock, but it's just a little bit heavier weight paper. I'm not really certain. It feels really kind of wet, but I'm hoping it transfers okay to the watercolor paper underneath. Okay, so that's got all the strings out now. And then, I have no idea what this is going to look like, folks. So, ooh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, and you can see the sparkles in it. And this one here on the end, now this is just the top paper. But this one here on the end, that kind of looks like a calla lily to me. You know, I guess Marta did she did hers, and she made flowers out of them. Of course, like everybody knows Marta and how awesomely talented she is. I still have a piece of plastic where I cut my bottles. This is kind of what it turned out like for on the watercolor paper. And I don't know if you can pick up the glimmer or not, but it is glimmering, because I of course used my shimmer paints, because that's just me. So it's kind of funny. I'm going to try to pull the paper, the string out a little bit quicker, so that it doesn't transfer just a line as much as I'm going to see if I can't do it that way. So I'll put these back in the pots of paint. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these one at a time. That way it won't sit on the paper, soak into the paper quite as much, I don't think. Well, that's my theory anyway. So I'm going to try doing it just one at a time, just laying one down at a time, and see if that won't, whoops, I got a big drip that time, but oh well. We'll see. Just laying one down at a time and see how that works. And pulling it out a little bit quicker. See if that did anything different. Oh yeah, that's much better. It kind of moved the color about a little bit. I don't know if you can see. I think you can. It sort of moved the color about a little bit instead of having one string or line like that down through it. I'm basically trying to get a background here for an art journal page to put, to continue building upon. That's kind of what I had in my mind anyway. So I'm going to see if I can't accomplish that with this, and lay this down on here again and just pull that right away. Yeah, that's kind of pretty too. It definitely does better if you don't let, with what I'm using for my medium, it definitely does better if you don't let it sit and transfer to the paper quite as long. It's even doing better with the secondary sheet of paper. I kind of like the effect that it's having here. It's kind of really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead with my purple one. I suppose you could turn the paper upside down and also do it you know, do it that from that way as well. I mean, I don't know why you couldn't do just about whatever you wanted with it. So I think this was this way. Doesn't really matter since this is just my secondary paper. I also saw Stacy use a book for an even amount of pressure on the string, and I can certainly see why she did that. It does make a difference how much you can, what kind of pressure you can put on it to hold it down as you're pulling the string out. But you know, for a first time, I kind of really like how this turned out. It's, if nothing, if it isn't different and unusual. And like I said, you can see the sparkle. I mean, I can see it. I don't know if you can. I hope you can. But in my glitter, or not my, but my metallic paints, I'm going to try to go for a little bit more subdued over here on this side again. I'm trying to decide if I should go with the pink or what color I should go with. I think I'll put the pink back down in, and I might put the purple back down in again and see. Definitely am very glad that I used this particular string that I had. It seems to be porous enough to, you know, hold some of the paint. I wasn't sure I had the right kind of string, but it does seem to be able to soak up the paint in it. So okay. Oh, and I am really glad that I used watercolor paper as well, because I think I would have, with this being as wet as it is, I think there is a couple spots down here where it looks like it's, you know, taken the top layer of my watercolor paper off, which I think it will still be alright. I'll still be able to use it for a background for an art journal page. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just stop here, because I think if I do too much more, as I said, the paper is getting kind of wet, and it's starting to what do you call it, peel whatever, and I don't want that to become an issue, you know, for the whole piece. So I'm just going to stop here, and it was really fun to do this, and I hope you give it a shot. I will put the links to Patricia Stubbs and to Bettsy Doodle, and also to Pink Poodle Crafts down below. And I will also put the link to Maremi Small Art, Marta's channel as well. Everybody pretty much knows her, I think, but I will put the links down below so that you can watch all of these videos regarding this as well. And yeah, this was awful fun. So thanks for watching, everyone, and hope you're all having a beautiful start to your weekend, and God bless you. Bye-bye.